Hi, my name is Barbara Young, also known as Adiala Young, and I am a trooper of Ngage. This is the brief. So today I'm talking about copywriting. Copywriting is my specialty. I am content creator and copywriter at Ngage Media Global. See, I'm wearing the shirt. And I'm talking to you about copywriting. But before I get into copywriting, I'm going to talk about writing as a whole, first of all, okay? Writing is using symbols to communicate your thoughts and ideas in an understandable manner, okay? So you write to be understood. Same way you talk, same way you use actions and all of that. Writing is a way of being understood through communication, okay? And of course using symbols, that's alphabets, whatever language you decide to use. So that is writing. Now, there are 5 forms of writing. I like 5 forms. I like to use the 5 forms. There are those that use 4 forms or 3 forms. I prefer the 5 forms, okay? So that's expository, descriptive, narrative, persuasive, and my personal favorite, creative writing, okay? So I'm gonna just briefly explain each and every one of them, and then we'll move on to the one that concerns copywriting. So first of all, expository writing. We hear this a lot, or we've heard this a lot in primary and secondary school. Write an expository essay. With exposition, okay, it is you're exposing. So you're gonna go gather facts, you're gonna use research, you're gonna use diagrams and graphs and labels and quotes to put down information and share this information. That's expository writing. Narrative writing is more of novels, okay? So you've got a beginning, a middle, and an end with narrative writing. So that's like novels, basically short stories. You know, you're narrating a story, you're telling people something, okay? So that's narrative writing. And descriptive writing is exactly what it is. You're describing something, you're evoking emotion. So poetry, your diary entries, your daily memos and all of that, the personal stuff that evokes emotion. It's more of just dropping little quotes of how you feel. That's descriptive writing, okay? You're describing something, you're evoking emotion. Persuasive writing is where businesses fall into most times. You're trying to persuade people to think the way you think. To see what you're seeing, to understand your information and then utilize it the way you want them to. So you can use this in advertising, use this in copywriting and all of that. And then there's creative writing. Creative writing is basically putting all of these forms together and then just writing. So you're exposing something, you're narrating something, you're describing something, and you're persuading your reader to like your work. It's very hard for a creative writer, but that is what creative writing is. You're adding everything together, you're evoking emotion, you're trying to get them to understand you, do something, use a call to action, with creative writing. You're exposing some facts that you have, and you're of course describing emotion. So those are the 5 forms I like to work with. And as you've guessed already, copywriting falls into persuasive writing, okay? So advertising, marketing, sales. Copywriting is the art, let me just call it the art. It's also a science because it's actually quite difficult. It's the art and science of writing to sell, okay? So it's writing for sales. So copywriting is basically, making a copy. The writing is called a copy, okay? So in copywriting, whatever you write, whatever the tagline is, it's called a copy. So you're writing copy to persuade people to buy something, to feel a certain way about a brand, to want to be part of a brand. That's what copywriting does, okay? It works marketing, sales, advertising, everything that has to do with business. Copywriting is really, really important. Let's take Nike's, my favorite example is always Nike, just do it. It's so simple, 3 words. Everybody knows, just do it. Some people joke, just don't do it. But then that Nike's tagline, Nike's copy is just do it. Every time you see Nike, you just think, just do it. You understand? Same thing with Coca-Cola, taste the feeling. I mean, who doesn't want to taste the feeling? I don't even know what that means, but I want to taste the feeling because I like Coke. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so that's what copywriting does. It makes you feel a certain way about a brand. It makes you want to buy that brand. It makes you want to be part of that brand. So, copywriting can be done by most writers, most creatives, with a little no, not a little, with a lot of hard work and a lot of, practice, you can become a really great copywriter. You need to know how to evoke emotion. You need to know, your target audience. You need to know how people react to particular words, particular feelings, and all things like that. So you practice with copywriting. You practice, you practice, you practice. Here are some tips. Okay, not some. 3 tips that I like to, put out there whenever I'm talking to copywriters or any other writer as a whole. Number 1 is don't exaggerate, okay? The thing with copywriting is that you have to make it feel as normal and as natural as possible to the person that's reading it. So I don't want to read something that has too many big words and so much grammar that I can't relate to it, okay? I'm Nigerian. Saying something like basbus gets me in my feelings. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, oh my God, don't leave me, But if you say something like, so the conference was held, so and so and so, and, use big words like, communicating and, what's the other word team building and all these cliche words, and you put it in a copy. I get bored when I start reading that. It's not something I say to my friend. I say things like, oh my God, we work together, we play together, work hard, play hard. See what I did there? So you have to make sure that you don't exaggerate too much. Make it as real as possible. Make it, feel real to the person reading it, and very simple. It always just passes the message without them knowing that the message is being passed. Point number 2, avoid using the passive voice. I know as a writer, it's really easy to slip into that place where you think you're talking to someone you don't know. In copywriting, in any form of writing, well, maybe not any form, creative and copywriting, do not use the passive voice unless you have to. When you're selling to someone, you want to make sure that that person feels that you know them. Okay, you're speaking to them. Don't be passive. Don't be relaxed. Okay, you're trying to use a call to action, trying to make them buy your product. Think about what will make them step up and buy that product. No matter how good or how bad the product is, your copy is what's going to sell it. So don't be passive, be direct, buy my stuff. That works too. You can take that. Okay, and point number 3, final and my favorite point altogether, is always have fun. Okay? Whatever you do, whether it's in work, whether it's in life, whether it's copywriting, whether it's a trip or brief, always have fun with it. Because when you have fun with it, it's easier to keep practicing and learning without knowing that you're actually practicing and learning. Alright, those are my 3 tips on how to, of course, make sure your copywriting passes as good copywriting. So practice, practice, practice. I'm Barbara Young once again, Triple of Ngage, and this is The Brief.